Hi, my name is Beth Samuels, and I'm the Digital Engagement Consultant for the West. And today I'm going to walk through a MindTap overview for biology, the unity and diversity of life. This is just a MindTap overview, so all of our MindTaps look pretty much the same. Some of the product, depending on the product, you're going to see a little different things in there, but I'll go over that as we go. So once you log into NGL Sync, you're going to click Launch Course to get into your MindTap. And once you're in there, on the left-hand side, you're going to see what we refer to as the rolling week view. And on the right-hand side, you'll see what we refer to as the performance dashboard. So this is the rolling week view, and this is the performance dashboard. If you ever want to, some educators don't necessarily want to see the performance dashboard, and so you can click over here where it has your name, and you're going to click on course settings. You can click on dashboard. And here you'll see I have the opportunity to enable my performance dashboard. So I just see a large rolling week view. I'm going to go ahead and hit saving. And what you're able to see is a large view of that rolling week view. And so here I'm going to show you a few things that you can do. First of all, notice that within each of these chapters, it's going to tell me how many activities are there. I can click into each of the chapters on the box to see exactly what all is inside there. You can see that this here is a practice. It's just paper and pencil. Anytime you see this view, it looks like a picture. If you click on that, then you'll be able to see either a video or just an image. So here, when you're in one of the videos, I just want to show you a few options that are really powerful. You have the ability to make it full screen. You also have the ability to make it medium, high, or low quality, so that if you need it to run a little quicker on your computer, you can. You can turn on the closed captions so that it'll show all of the words. And you can also download a transcript if you would like. Okay, so those are some great options that we have in our videos. Anytime you open anything in MindTap, it's nice for you to know that it's just opening over the screen that's already been there. It's an overlay. So in order to get rid of this, whatever you're on, you just simply hit the little X and it'll take you back to your rolling week view. I'm going to continue just to kind of open these up so that you can see a couple things. Again, this is just a practice because it says practice and it's paper pencil. These are readings that students can do. But if I continue to open, you'll be able to see anything that counts toward a grade, whether it be a test or quiz, then it's going to show up in orange for you. It's always going to tell you how many points it's worth, what percentage was submitted, and what the average score is. Okay. In order for you to be able to assign any of these things, you're going to click on the Edit button here where you see the green check mark. And you'll notice that now you have the option to edit this assignment or hide it. So sometimes some educators like to say, well, we're working through chapters 1, 2, and 3 right now. I don't want students to see chapters 4 and on. And so if I were to hide something, I will show you. So when I click on this box here, that's going to give me a batch action, which means all 53 activities are going to be hidden because I want to hide all of chapter 4. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to say hide selected. It's going to say, are you sure? No, yes, I am. And so now that's hidden. You can see now I can only see chapters 1, 2, 3, and 5, and that's exactly what your students will see as well. If as the teacher I want to see what I've hidden, I just need to click on this show hidden, and I can see now that it shows up. But with this eye and a line through it, it's letting me know that you've hidden this this chapter. Okay. You can also hide individual assignments if you don't want them to do it. And then you can also assign things. And so if I'm going in and assigning, let's say, let's go into chapter 2. And I want my students to, actually I'm going to do, yeah. I want my students to do a couple assignments. I want to go into some that's actually, all right, so I want them to dig deeper. And I also want to assign the readings that go along with it. Okay, so again, I've created a batch action, but this time instead of hiding, I want to edit the dates. I want it to be available today at 8 a.m. Done. And I want it to be due on Friday by 3 p.m. And I'm going to hit save. So now those things have been assigned and my students will see those. Success, beautiful. I can also assign one thing at a time. So if I say I want them to watch this, this video, how were atoms actually discovered, I'm just going to hit edit here. It gives the description. Again, I can assign it today. And I'm going to give it a due date. I want them to watch it by tomorrow though. And I'm going to hit done. And then finally save. If you're ever unsure of what all things that you've assigned for students, up here you can click this week view. It looks like a calendar. And once you click on that, it's going to show you everything that in the current weeks, what's due on each day. So I can see I have the mastery training due today at 12 p.m. How atoms were discovered. All right, so all of these things I've assigned to my students. I don't have anything, you can see 0 activities from weeks 3 and on. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the other view because it's something that I'm used to, and I want to show you a couple more things on the progress. One of the wonderful things as a teacher within MindTap is that you can change how students see the reading. you can enhance it in a way for them that is more inviting. So if I go into invitation to biology, that's not what I wanted. Sorry about that. Invitation to biology. And I go to see the reading, The Secret Life of Earth. This is going to open up the book that students will see when they get in there, their readings. And one of the things that we have that students do not have is this pencil. And that provides us with the opportunity to edit the book and students to be able to see what it is that we're doing when we edit it. You can see that it adds these plus. These are all of the places that you can add things when editing. And so this is talking about the Pinocchio frog that Paul Oliver discovered. I can go in and say, after they look at this, I really want them to see a video of that dog, of that frog. And so I'm going to go in and I can add any of these things, either a Google Drive from my Google Classroom. I can add RSS feeds from the website, any website, to show them some extra information. But here's what I want to do. I want to add a web video, which is a YouTube. And the nice thing about this, even if your school blocks YouTube videos, when it's embedded within this book, it does not get blocked from your students. They're able to see it. So it's really important that you view them before you give them this information. But if I went in and I typed in Pinocchio frog biology and click on videos, I can see that there's this great YouTube video. One of the most common questions we get about frogs. Oh, I'm sorry, no, I wanted to show this one down here. Where is it? Excuse me. It's this one, the Paul Oliver talking about the frog he discovered, the Pinocchio frog. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to copy this web link. I'm going to go back to my Mind tab. Now I can type in different things in here, and biology, and it will show up other things that they have, but not all of the videos on YouTube are here. And so sometimes I want to find my own, and all I have to do is paste that YouTube link that I had found, and it shows up. And so I'm just going to click on that one and say continue. This is the one I want in there. I can write some text before it and say, watch this video. And something else, whatever else I want to say. I can also insert text after the video and let them know and say, answer this question about the video, and then provide a question. I'm going to hit continue. And so now what you see is once the students read about the Pinocchio frog and they scroll down, it says here that this has been added by the instructor. It gives what I've told them to do, watch the video. They're going to watch it right here and then answer this question, and there would be a question about that. So that's a beautiful thing that you can modify the text for students. You can also go in and one of the things you and students have, if you see a highlighted word, you can simply click on it and it's going to give you how to pronounce it as well as the definition. You can highlight anything here. Students can as well. Students have yellow, pink, blue, and green highlighters, so they can highlight them in any color. You as the teacher, you also have this orange one that says shared. And so if you click on this, it's going to highlight it in the student book as well. Any of the other colors that you highlight will not show up in the student book. I can also go back to this and say, I also want to add a note and let them know this is important. And I'm going to click on share and hit save. And so now students will get this in their book when they open up this page. Okay, another thing you may have noticed when I've highlighted something, I can look at the dictionary. If I highlight any word in here, I can have it read me the text, and I can also add words to my flashcards. Okay, students have a read speaker, and so it will read all of the text for them, and as it's reading it, it highlights it. So you can watch how it's following it all along. They can come right here to this read speaker, and they can change the speed or the voice of that read speaker. So they can do anything from slow, medium, fast, or very fast. And they can choose any of these different voices that they want to have it read to them. Okay. The next thing I want to show you on here, you can change the text. Students can as well. They can bookmark a page. They can print. And if they're unsure of all the things that they can do here, they can just simply click on the help and it'll tell them all of the things that they can do. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. That's pretty much it for the rolling page. Each of these chapters and what they look like and how they're laid out are going to look different based on the product that you've purchased. But you can, they're all going to be pretty, from chapter to chapter, they're going to be the same. So once you get your product, just take a look to see what format it's laid under. Over here, this is your gradebook, or what we also like to call, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's your progress reporting, your progress page. So you can get to it by clicking that or by clicking open gradebook. So I'm going to go ahead and just open the gradebook. Some things I want to show you here. I do have a couple sample students in here that have taken some, well, I took the tests, so I could show you some things. We have Ben Bio and Betty Biology. I can see a couple things. I can see their overall performance average and how many points they have out of whatever. As I scroll over to the right, I can see what they've actually taken and how many they got out of each. I can also click on each of theirs to see exactly if I want to delete their attempt, if I want to edit the score. I can extend the due date. Okay, because it's not due yet, I can't necessarily go in and actually look at exactly what they did. Once the due date passes, then I can go in and I can see exactly what the students chose and what they got correct or incorrect, which is a wonderful thing. I can click on each of the students and to see exactly, here's their score breakdown. And I can see whether it's high, medium, or low. I can actually drop my student from here if I need to. And it shows in the learning path everything that they've done or haven't done. You can click into each of them. It's going to give me a better view because we were actually working within here. There it is. I can provide a comment. And here's where I see the scores. Okay, and I know that they only have one attempt. If I click on the overview, it's going to give me an overview of all. And it'll show me how many students have submitted and what the overall average score is of my class, whether it's graded and counts towards grade or whether it's just practice. If I click on the analytics, it's going to give me a, okay, well, it gives you a splatter chart, a scatter chart, and you can actually hover over the dots to see exactly where those students land in your class. I just took the test, so it might be unavailable right now. I've already showed you the gradebook. You have the settings as well. And within those settings, I can add categories. Right now, everything is under uncategorized, but if I want to add a category and say I want to call them all quizzes, then I can add all my quizzes in there. So within the gradebook, it's going to create that, the balance of what I want it to look like. I can set a late policy. I can also set credit or no credit on things, or I can just remove all of the policies that are in place. I can also do weighting if I want, or choose to drop the lowest score. That's something that's up to you. And then I can also click on this show practice assignments, which will show me all of the practice assignments that students have. So that helps me to put them over into categories. Here's the roster tab. And what that does, it lets me know who are active in my classroom. And here I can have them show the student ID. I can also compose an email if it's attached to an email. Most of our MindTaps are not necessarily, but if it were, then it would go ahead and do that. If I click on the settings, the gradebook settings, I can have it calculate overall score by percentage or by points. I can also choose to hide the drop students or show them. And so that's an option that you have as well. That's the gradebook, or the progress reporting. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll see that you have different apps. This is your content app. This is your notes. That's actually, students have to log into an Evernote account. And so if you don't want them to do that, then I would advise you to have them not create that Evernote. The RSS feeds, there aren't any RSS feeds attached to this book, but you can, if you click over here in Add and Create an Activity, you can actually add your own RSS feeds. So I can say Add New and add the URL here and put a title, okay? This is a school portfolio. Here's that full book that students can look at. This here, the study hub, is something that you're going to use quite often for your students. And again, all of these apps over here are going to change depending on the product that you have, but I just want to show you some of them that all of them have. They can click on, they can create their own study guide right here. They can also just click on the notes and highlights to see what they've highlighted or what notes they've added. And then they can also click on the bookmarks to see what bookmarks they've added. And then they can just click on that and it'll go right to that part in the book. These flashcards are something that are really powerful. They're actually embedded into that rolling week. And so you don't have to add them. You can add different flashcards if you want, but there is a place in there in this in here for students to look at the flashcards, so you can assign that, or they can go in on their own whenever they want. And in here with the flashcards, it's going to go through, they can choose whichever chapter they're in. So if they're in Invitation to Biology, they can look at, here's the word, and then they can flip the card and see what the definition is. They can hide the card if they want. Go to the next card. They can shuffle the deck. They can create a new card if there's a word in there that they're unsure of. Just like in the reading, they can create that flashcard right from the reading if they'd like, or they can create it here. And they can choose to either show first the key term or the definition. They're also able to print the current deck, but that would be probably a lot of paper. So, all right. Here's this Webster, the Webster's dictionary. And so they can find any word that they are struggling with. They just have to type it in. It's going to show up. A very detailed explanation of it. It's wonderful. And then they also have a glossary. Okay. Anything, if they see that, if you have See Now attached to your product, or if you have this Applia here, those are embedded in your, already into your rolling week. And so they're already embedded into the chapters. If you want to add new ones, you can. I'm not going to go over each of those in great detail because not all of our products offer See Now or Applia. Just know that they're already embedded, and these are great homework assignments that we have, as well as Applia that are a little more engaging than just multiple choice. And so it's a lot of fill in and things like that. But those are going to be already activities that are added into this, the week for you, or the chapters for you. That's my overview. I am going to go ahead and end this now, but I really appreciate you watching my video. And if you have any further questions, you just need to get a hold of your sales rep or your digital engagement consultant where you live. And we also have our calendar that will have trainings for multiple things, whether it be NGL Sync or any of our platforms that you can watch and sign up for, starting in May and running all the way through September. So have a good day. Thank you.